Question number 1. What is the fire rating for building having more than 2 basements? Answer. All structural members up to and including the floor of the lowest level of discharge of underground buildings more than 7,000 millimeters below or more than 2 level below the lowest level of exit discharge, that is, all high depth underground buildings or structures shall be at least 2 hours fire rated construction. What is the definition of a high rise building or structure? The occupancies or multiple and mixed occupancies, facilities, buildings and structures having total height of occupiable or usable space of more than 23 meters above the lowest grade or lowest level of fire service access into that occupancy is categorized as high-rise building. What is the definition of a mid-rise building or structure? Answer. The occupancies or multiple and mixed occupancies, facilities, buildings and structures having total height of occupiable or usable space between 15 meters to 23 meters from the lowest grade or lowest level of fire access into that occupancy is categorized as mid-rise building. What is the definition of low-rise building or structure? The occupancies or multiple and mixed occupancies, facilities, buildings and structures having total height of occupiable or usable space up to 15 meters from the lowest grade or lowest level of fire service access into that occupancy is categorized as low-rise building. What is the definition of low-depth structure or building? A structure or a building with up to 2 basements or up to 7 meters below the level of exit discharge. What is the definition of high-depth structure or building? Answer. A structure or building with more than 2 basements or more than 7 meters below the level of exit discharge. What is the fire rating and the minimum size of the emergency command center? The emergency command center shall be separated from the other parts of the same building by compartment walls and floors having fire resistance of at least 1 hour with fire suppression system. Minimum size shall be 8.9 square meters. At what level shall the fire pump be installed within the building? Answer. Fire pump shall be located on the ground floor or below grade level with protected dedicated access from the fire engine access level. At what level shall the intermediate fire pumps and water tanks be located for high-rise buildings? Answer. Where multiple pump sets are required in a high-rise building, intermediate fire pumps and water tanks shall be located at not more than 90 meters intervals from the first fire pump located at the lowest level of the structure. When can the separation between the kitchen and the dining area be exempted? Answer. Separation requirement for kitchen could be exempted when all the cooking facilities in the kitchen are fitted with an approved extinguishing system such as kitchen hood suppression. Separation requirement for kitchen could be exempted when an eating establishment is separated from other parts of the same building by walls and floors having fire resistance of at least 1 hour and doors having fire resistance of at least half an hour. What is the maximum size of a kitchen allowed in a non-sprinkled building? Answer. For a non-sprinkler protected building, the floor area of the kitchen compartment shall not exceed 150 square meters. What is the fire rating for the separation between theatre, cinema or concert hall from other parts of the building? Answer. A theatre, cinema or concert hall shall be separated from other parts of the same building which is of different purpose group by compartment walls and floors having a fire resistance for at least 2 hours. If the building is protected by an automatic sprinkler system, the fire resistance rating of the compartment walls or floors can be reduced to 1 hour. What is the fire rating for hotel bedrooms? Answer. Each hotel bedroom shall be compartmented from adjoining rooms and other parts of the same building by construction having fire resistance rating of at least 1 hour. What is the fire rating for labor accommodation bedroom? Answer. Each labor accommodation bedroom shall be compartmented from adjoining rooms and other parts of the same building by construction having fire resistance rating for at least 1 hour. What are the kitchen fire rating requirements for labor accommodation? Answer. Kitchens are only allowed on the ground floor and shall be enclosed with minimum 1 hour fire rated compartment wall, including half-hour fire rated door. Kitchen shall be separated by 1 hour fire rating and a protected corridor away from the dormitory sleeping area on the ground floor. What is the fire rating required for motor vehicle workshop? Answer. A motor vehicle workshop shall be separated from any other part of the same building by compartment walls and floors having fire resistance of not less than 2 hours. What is the fire rating and ventilation requirement for a spray painting booth or for any spray painting process? Answer. Areas in which spray painting or other allied processes are performed or carried out shall be separated from other parts of the same building by compartment walls and floors having fire resistance of not less than 2 hours. Spray painting booth shall have built-in vapor extraction system. What is the size requirement for cold room and the fire rating of the construction? Answer. Where a cold room has a floor area exceeding 20 square meters, a separate outer layer of non-combustible construction including the door having minimum 1 hour fire resistance rating with sprinkler shall be provided to compartmentalize the cold room enclosure from other areas. Provision of the fire resisting outer layer enclosure, including the fire door to the cold room, would not be required if the cold room has a floor area not exceeding 20 square meter and is sprinkler protected. The storage material should not include highly flammable chemicals. Cold room lesser than 20 square meter provided with at least 1 hour fire rating compartment need not be provided with sprinklers, provided that the storage shall not include flammable materials. What shall the maximum allowable area of mezzanine floor? The aggregated area of mezzanines within a room, other than those located in special purpose industrial occupancies, shall not exceed 1/3 the open area of the room in which the mezzanines are located. What is a breaching inlet? A connection with the Civil Defense Fire Department can pump supplemental water into sprinkler system, standpipe or other systems, furnishing water for fire extinguishment to supplement existing water supply. What is the definition of fire access level? Answer. Level where civil defense fire appliances, fire truck, engine are deployed and where firefighters have direct access into the building. What is the definition of fire engine access road? Answer. The road to the building or structure to allow access for civil defense firefighting and rescue apparatus. What is the definition of fire engine access way? Answer. The path adjacent to the building or structure to allow operational setup for civil defense firefighting and rescue apparatus such as aerial appliances. What is landing valve? Answer. A 65 mm diameter water outlet normally located inside or near the staircase landing for trained or civil defense firefighters to use during fire. What is the maximum distance allowed between the edge of a fire engine accessway and the breaching inlet? Answer. Buildings fitted with standpipes and automatic sprinkler system shall have accessways for the pumping appliances within 18 meters of the breaching inlet. The breaching inlets shall be visible from the accessways. What is the spacing requirement for private hydrants along fire engine accessway and access road? Answer. Space between private hydrants along fire engine accessways and access roads are as follows. First, residential and commercial occupancies shall be 120 meters. Second, light hazard storage occupancies shall be 100 meters. Third, ordinary hazard storage occupancies shall be 100 meters. Fourth, light hazard industrial occupancies shall be 100 meters. Fifth, ordinary hazard industrial occupancies shall be 100 meters. Sixth, high hazard occupancies shall be 60 meters. What is the minimum flow rate for each private fire hydrant? Answer. Minimum flow rate for each private fire hydrant shall be 500 gallons per minute. What is the minimum pressure required for fire hydrant in relation to landing valves? Answer. Minimum pressure required for private fire hydrant is 6.9 bars. What is the minimum duration of firefighting water supply for private fire hydrant? Answer. Private fire hydrant water supply for firefighting shall be for 2 hours. What is the height limitations for a fire hydrant? Answer. The center of hose outlet shall not be less than 457 millimeters and not more than 914 millimeters above final grade. How far shall the distance be between the fire engine access way and any access opening of a building? Answer. Access way shall be positioned so that the nearer edge shall not be less than 2 meters or more than 10 meters from the center position of the access opening measured horizontally. What is the graded requirement for a fire engine access way? Answer. Access way shall be laid on a level platform, or if on an incline, the gradient shall not exceed 10%. What is the maximum allowable dead end distance for a fire engine access way? Answer. Dead end access way and fire engine access road shall not exceed 45 meter in length, or if exceeding 45 meter, be provided with turning facilities. Question number 35. In what type of building shall a fire lift be required? Answer. In any building which is classified as high-rise or high-depth building having more than 2 levels of basement, there shall be provided at least one fire lift which shall be contained within a separate protected shaft or a common protected shaft containing other lifts, subject to other lifts being served at each story by a firefighting lobby. What is the minimum dimension of a fire lift car? Answer. Minimum dimension of a fire lift car shall be of 1950 mm either in length or breadth. What is the minimum width of a firefighting staircase? Answer. Firefighting stairs should be a minimum of 1200 mm wide. What is the size requirement for a firefighting lobby? Answer. The firefighting lobby shall have a clear floor area of not less than 5 square meter. The clear floor area shall not exceed 20 square meter for spaces serving up to 4 lifts, or 5 square meter per lift for spaces serving more than 4 lifts. Where can landing valves be installed in accordance to preference? Answer. Landing valve shall be located in accordance to the following preference. 1. In firefighting body, if provided for the first landing valve. Second, in firefighting or exit staircase for the first landing valve. Third, in smoke-free enclosure or external corridor. 4. In the common corridor or area within a protected shaft. What is the length of a coverage for one landing valve? Answer. Every part of the floor area shall be within 30 meters coverage of a landing valve. When shall an emergency command center be provided? Answer. An emergency command center shall be provided in any building which is high-rise with 23 meter or more in height, with the exception of 1 and 2 family dwelling, and such emergency command center shall have the following: 1. Fire lift. 2. Emergency voice communication system. 3. Engineered smoke control system. What is the size requirement for an emergency command center? Answer. An emergency command center shall be of adequate size to house all the terminals and supervisory control equipment etc. of the building's fire protection detection systems, and a free working space of at least 8.9 square meter with no dimension lesser than 2440 millimeters. Where shall the emergency command center be located? Answer. An emergency command center shall be located adjacent to the fire lift lobby at the designated story of the building, that is, the lobby of the building on the first story or immediately adjacent thereto. What is the swing direction for doors for fire exits? Doors required to be of the side hinged or pivoted swinging type shall swing in the direction of egress travel where serving a room or area with an occupant load of 50 or more. A door shall swing in the direction of egress travel under either of the following conditions. 1. Where the door is used in an exit enclosure. 2. Where the door serves a high hazard contents area. What is the type of construction for exit staircase shaft based on the height of the building? Answer. Exit stairs serving high-rise buildings, mid-rise buildings, high-depth underground buildings, and buildings connecting 4 or more stories shall be constructed of RCC reinforced concrete with a minimum of 2-hour fire rating. Exit stairs serving low-rise buildings, low-depth underground buildings, and buildings connecting 3 or less stories shall be protected with 2-hour fire-rated construction. Can spiral stays be used for egress? Answer. Spiral stays is not allowed as a part of means of egress. Can interlocking or scissor stair be treated as two staircase? Answer. Interlocking or scissor stair shall be considered only as a single exit. Where shall floor diagrams be provided? A floor diagram should be provided in staircase landings on the wall beside the exit door. Floor diagrams shall also be provided beside fire alarm panels in smoke-free enclosures, in firefighting lobbies, and in individual rooms of hotels and healthcare occupancies. What information shall a floor diagram have? Answer. A floor diagram shall show the actual floor layout, exit stairways locations, corridors, rooms, landing wells, overseal, fire extinguishers, lift lobbies, and other useful information for fire department as well as occupant. What is the mode of ventilation for exit staircase in high-rise buildings 23 meters or more in height? Answer. Every escape staircase serving buildings of 23 meters in height or more must be made a smoke-proof enclosure. The means of achieving a smoke-proof enclosure should be by pressurization. What is the fire rating for smoke-proof enclosure? Answer. A smoke-proof enclosure shall be enclosed from the highest point to the lowest point by barriers having 2-hour fire resistance ratings. Question number 52. What is the fire rating requirement for an exit passageway? Answer. The exit passageway shall be separated from the remainder of the building by a 2-hour fire resistance rating. What is the required mode of ventilation for non-high-rise buildings? Answer. Staircase ventilation for non-high-rise buildings shall be provided with natural mechanical ventilation or by providing smoke-proof enclosures. What is the egress final discharge requirement for sprinkler-protected buildings? Answer. For sprinkler-protected buildings, not more than 50% of the required number of exits and not more than 50% of the required egress capacity shall discharge through areas on the level of exit discharge. What is the minimum separation distance between two exits? Answer. The minimum separation distance between two exits or exit access doors in a sprinklered building shall be not less than 1/3 the length of the maximum overall diagonal dimension of the building or area to be served. This distance shall be half the diagonal for non-sprinkler buildings. What is the minimum clear width of a corridor or passageway? The clear width of any corridor or passageway serving an occupant load of 50 or more shall not be less than 1200 mm. In what situation is single exit permitted in a non-sprinklered apartment building? Answer. Any non-sprinklered dwelling unit shall be permitted to have a single exit provided that one of the following criteria is met. Number 1. The dwelling unit has an exit door opening directly to the street or yard at ground level. Number 2. The dwelling unit has direct access to an outside stair and serves a maximum of 2 units, both of which are located on the same floor. Number 3. The dwelling unit has a direct access to an interior stair that serves only that unit and is separated from all other portions of the building by fire barriers having a minimum 1-hour fire resistance rating with no opening therein. Number 4. Travel distance from anywhere in the unit shall not exceed 23 meters to the final discharge. Number 5. Total floor area is less than 500 square meters. In what situation is a single exit permitted in a sprinklered apartment building? Answer. Any building that is protected throughout by an approved supervised automatic sprinkler system has 4 or fewer stories and has not more than 4 dwelling units per story shall be permitted to have a single exit provided that all of the following conditions apply. Number 1. The stairway is separated from rest of the building by barriers having not less than a 1-hour fire resistant rating with self-closing 1-hour fire door assemblies protecting all openings between the stairway enclosure and the building. Number 2. The stairway does not serve more than 1/2 story below the level of exit discharge. Number 3. All corridors serving as access to exits have a minimum 1-hour fire resistance rating. Number 4. There is not more than 35 feet, 10.7 meters of travel distance from the entrance door of any dwelling unit to the exit staircase. Number 5. 1/2 hour fire rate horizontal and vertical separation between dwelling units is provided. Number 6. Travel distance from anywhere from the unit to the unit exit door shall not exceed 23 meters. Number 6. Total floor area is less than 500 square meters. What is the definition of labor accommodation? Answer. Labor accommodation include buildings or spaces in buildings where sleeping accommodation is provided for workers with or without meals but without individual cooking facilities. The phrase without individual cooking facilities refers to the absence of cooking equipment in any room or unit. What is the height requirement to install a portable fire extinguisher? Answer. The wall mount type portable fire extinguisher shall be installed in such a way that the top of the fire extinguisher is not more than 1.5 meters above the floor and not less than 30 centimeters from the bottom of extinguisher to the finished floor. What is the minimum number of people required to be trained on basic fire awareness and in the use of portable fire extinguishers? Answer. At least 10% of the security personnel, occupants, employees, and supervisory personnel of each occupancy shall be trained on basic fire awareness, types, use, and operation of fire extinguishers in emergency situation. At what level shall floor proximity exit signs be installed? Answer. Where the floor proximity exit signs are required, in such signs shall be located near the floor level in addition to those signs required for doors or corridors. The bottom of the sign shall be not less than 150 millimeters but not more than 455 millimeters above the floor. What is the function of emergency lights? Answer. The objective of having emergency light during emergencies or when the normal lighting of the occupied building fails. The emergency light shall fulfill the following functions. A. To indicate clearly and unambiguously the escape routes. B. To provide illumination along such routes to allow safe movement towards and through the exits provided. C. To ensure that fire alarm call points and firefighting equipment provided along escape routes can be readily located. D. To permit operations concerned with safety measures. Where should emergency lights be provided? Answer. For all buildings except for 1 and 2 family dwelling, emergency lighting shall be provided in all occupancies in the following areas. Number 1. Along exit doors, egress path, lobbies and exit staircase. Over area if there are no explicit paths leading to corridors, lobbies and exits. Number 3. In hotel rooms or suites. Number 4. Educational occupancies used as assemblies. Example, gymnasium, concert halls, auditoriums, theatres. 5. In office rooms more than 60 square meters. Notwithstanding the requirements in the clause above, emergency lighting shall be provided in the following locations. 1. Lift cars. 2. Emergency command centers. 3. Generator rooms. 4. Basement car parks. 5. Fire pump rooms. 6. Areas of refuge with the same building. What is the required brightness level of emergency lights? Answer. Emergency lighting facilities shall be arranged to provide initial illumination that is not less than an average of 1 feet candle 10.8 lux and at any point not less than 0.1 feet candle 1.1 lux measured along the path of egress at floor level. In what type of occupancies is central battery required? Answer. Central battery system is not mandatory. However, standalone self-contained luminaries are not allowed as well. The emergency lighting system shall be either central battery system or monitor type self-contained emergency lighting system, which is diagnosed type and shall be automatically monitored and tested through the building monitor system and the fire alarm control unit. What is the definition of emergency voice communication, EVC? Answer. A system that is interlinked with the fire alarm to give evacuation or emergency messages throughout the premises for all occupants. Question number 68. In what type of occupancies requires emergency voice evacuation and communication system? Answer. One-way emergency voice evacuation and communication system as well as emergency command center shall be provided as follows. Number 1. For all large buildings with gross floor area greater than 2,800 square meters or having a total occupant load exceeding 1,000 persons and large industrial and warehouse buildings with gross floor area greater than 5,000 square meters. Number 2. For all buildings which are categorized as high-rise or an assembly. Number 3. For hotel or healthcare occupancies of less than 23 meters building height. In what location are speakers with flashes required? Answer. Speakers with flashes, strobe lights shall be provided for basement car parks, mechanical or machine rooms, large machining areas of factories more than 5,000 square meters and at locations where the ambient noise level is 75 decibels or more. What is the fire rating requirement for fire alarm and emergency communication cables? Answer. All circuits necessary for the operation of the notification appliances shall be protected until they enter the evacuation signalizing zone that they serve. Any of the following methods shall be considered acceptable as meeting the requirements of this subsection. 1. A 2-hour fire rated circuit integrity CI cable. Number 2. A 2-hour fire rated cable system, electrical circuit protective system. Number 3. A 2-hour fire rated enclosure. Number 4. Buildings fully protected by an automatic sprinkler system and with the interconnecting wiring or cables used for the operation of notification appliances installed in metal raceways. Where shall manual call point be located? Answer. Distribution of the manual call point should be such that travel distance should not be more than 45 meters to reach the nearest manual call point. These figures to be reduced to 25 meters and 16 meters in limited mobility areas and where processes of the area result in a likelihood of rapid fire development. What is the height requirement to install a manual call point? The manual call point shall be installed generally at the height of 1.1 to 1.4 meters above floor level and in plain, accessible, well lit and free hindrances places where disabled people are expected to operate, height to be lowered to 91 centimeters to 1.2 meters. At what level above the ground for raised floors to have smoke detectors within the concealed space? Answer. For raised floors 400 mm and above the floor level and or containing combustible material shall be provided with smoke detectors. At what height between the suspended ceiling and the ceiling level a smoke detector to be provided? Answer. For suspended ceilings which are above 800 mm from the ceiling level and or containing combustible material, smoke detectors are to be provided. In what condition can alarm notification speakers be used for non-emergency purposes? Answer. Speakers used as alarm notification appliances on fire alarm system shall also be permitted to be used for non-emergency purposes provided that condition 1 or 2 is met. Number 1. The emergency command center is constantly attended by trained personnel. Number 2. The speakers and associated audio equipment are installed or located with safeguards to resist tampering or maladjustments of those components essential for instant emergency notification. Can alarm notification speakers be used as mass notification speakers? Answer. Speakers used as alarm notification appliances on fire alarm systems shall also be permitted to be used for mass notification systems. What is the definition of a Class 2 firefighting system? Answer. Class 2 system comprises of 25 mm diameter bore for hose reel system or 40 mm diameter bore for the hose rack system. 30-meter long dual reinforced rubber hose coupled with 6 or 8 mm bore multipurpose nozzle for the use of occupants to extinguish small fires or when the fire is at its incipient stages until the arrival of civil defense firefighters. What is the definition of Class 3 firefighting system? Answer. Class 3 system is a combination of both Class 1 and Class 2 system for the use of occupants and as well as civil defense use. In general, the Class 1 system equipments are installed in lower level or compartment and Class 2 system equipments in upper level or compartment of a cabinet. Alternatively, because of the multiple use, Class 3 standpipe system comprising 65 mm diameter landing valve with 65 mm into 40 mm easily removable adapter and coupled with 40 mm diameter 30 meter long fire hose and nozzle may be permitted as a special cases. Where shall fire hose stations be located and what is the coverage distance? The fire hose station should be clearly visible beside the exit way or stairway, maximum L or 6 meters from exit way or exit staircase. Additional fire hose stations along the exit access corridor, horizontal exit or in the car park floor shall be installed such that all portions of each floor are within 30 meters from the fire hose station while measured along the natural path of travel from the hose station. At what level of the building shall fire pumps be installed? Answer. Fire pump shall be located at the lowest level of the building, pumping water upwards. Fire pumps at levels higher than the lowest level of the building with water supply feeding downwards is not allowed. What is the arrangement for a dry riser standpipe system? Answer. Dry riser standpipe system shall be terminated to a two-way breaching inlet connection having 100 mm dia flange outlet with two numbers of 65 mm dia instantaneous male coupling inlets located at fire access level for civil defense. What is the pressure limit for a multi-wet riser zoning system? Multi-wet riser zoning system shall be established in high-rise buildings where pressure reducing valve station is utilized with single fire pump set instead of multiple pumping station to restrict pressure limit within 12 bar at an landing valve outlet. What is the minimum operating pressure for sprinkler head in ordinary hazard occupancies? Answer. The minimum operating pressure for any sprinkler head for determining the water supply requirement shall be not less than 0.5 bar 7 psi in the light hazard occupancy and 1.0 bar psi in the ordinary hazard occupancies. What is the maximum operating pressure in a sprinkler system? Answer. The maximum operating pressure in a sprinkler system shall not be more than 12 bar. Where higher operating pressure is used for the sprinkler system, all the sprinklers, pipes and fittings shall be rated for the higher operating pressure. However, the operating pressure shall not be more than 16 bar in any case. What shall a fire pump set consist of? Answer. The proposed fire pump set for any water-based suppression system, including fire hydrant, shall consist each of the following. 1. Main electric pump. 2. Standby diesel-driven pump. 3. Electric jockey pump. 4. Pump controllers. 5. Ancillary valves and fittings. Where shall the fire pump be located in a building? Answer. Fire pump shall be located at the ground floor or fire access level at the lowest level of the building, pumping water upwards. Fire pumps at levels higher than the lowest level of the building with water supply feeding downwards is not allowed. What shall be height limitation of a building for a mechanical floor to house the transfer fire pump and tank. Answer. Any building higher than 90 meter in habitable height from the lowest level of the building shall require a transfer pump set and a transfer water tank located on the mechanical floor. What is defined as light hazard occupancies? Answer. The areas and occupancies which are used for non-industrial uses and contains low quantity and less combustible materials which are expected to release less heat. Release rates during fire conditions shall be classified as light hazard occupancies. What is defined as ordinary hazard occupancies? Answer. The areas and occupancies used for processing and handling of mainly ordinary combustible materials unlikely to develop intensely burning fires in the initial stages shall be classified as ordinary hazard occupancies. What is defined as ordinary hazard group 1? Answer. The areas and occupancies which are used for commercial and industrial uses and contains medium quantity and moderate combustible materials and the storages up to 2.4 meters which are expected to release moderate heat release rates during fire conditions shall be classified as ordinary hazard group 1. What is defined as ordinary hazard group 2? The areas and occupancies which are used for commercial and industrial uses and contain medium quantity and moderate to high combustible materials and the storages up to 3.6 meters which are expected to release moderate heat release rates and the storages up to 2.4 meters which are high heat release rates during fire conditions shall be classified as ordinary hazard group 2. What is defined as extra high hazard group 1? Answer. The areas and occupancies which are used for industrial uses and contains high quantity and very high combustible materials which will support fast development of fire and are expected to release very high heat release rates during fire condition and having less or no combustible or flammable liquids and gases shall be classified as extra high hazard group 1. What is defined as extra high hazard group 2? Answer. The areas and occupancies which are used for industrial uses and contain moderate to high quantity of flammable and combustible liquids and gases which will support rapid growth of fire and expected to release very high heat release rate during fire conditions shall be classified as extra high hazard group 2. What is the temperature and fire rating of smoke exhaust or extract fans? Answer. Smoke exhaust or extract fans shall be capable of operating effectively at 400 degrees Celsius for 2 hours. What is the minimum distance between air intakes and any exhaust discharge openings? Answer. Openings for the intakes of outdoor air to all air handling systems, mechanical ventilation systems, pressurization system of exit staircases and internal corridors and smoke control system shall be no less than 5 meters from any exhaust discharge openings. What is the fire rating of dampers to be installed in ducts penetrating firewalls? Answer. Duct penetrations of firewalls should be avoided. Approved fire dampers shall be provided where air ducts penetrate or terminate at openings in walls or partitions required to have fire resistance rating of 1 hour or more depending on the fire rating of the wall. In which application a fire damper is not required? Answer. A fire damper shall not be required for the following. 1. closed dryer exhaust ducts. 2. Hazardous fume exhaust duct. 3. Stairwell pressurization ducts. 4. Smoke extraction ducts. 5. Laundry and trash chutes. What is the type of approved material to be used for the construction of ceiling plenum? Answer. Materials used in the construction of a ceiling plenum shall be non-combustible or shall be limited combustible, having a flame spread index of not more than 25 and a maximum smoke developed index of 50. In what situation does staircases serving the basement level need to be pressurized? Answer. All fire exit staircases that serve the basement floor shall also be pressurized if the same staircase shafts serving the upper floors are pressurized. Fire exit staircase that only serve the basement, which have more than 2 levels or more than 7 meters below the level of discharge. High depth underground buildings and structures shall be pressurized. Fire exit staircases that only serve the basement, which have less than 2 or levels or less than 7 meters below the level of discharge. Low depth underground buildings and structures shall be provided with mechanical ventilation. At what height shall a building have its exit staircases pressurized? Answer. In any building of which the habitable height exceeds 23 meters, any internal exit staircases without adequate provision for natural ventilation shall be pressurized. What is the arrangement for multiple injections for staircase pressurization? Answer. A single point injection shall not be used where the stairwell height is more than 8 stories. Stair walls more than 3 stories above grade or 15 m in height, whichever low, shall be provided with multiple injection systems. Question number 104. What is the minimum rate of mechanical ventilation for internal corridors? Answer. Mechanical ventilated internal corridors shall have a purging rate of at least 6 air changes per hour. What is the minimum rate of mechanical ventilation for basements? Answer. The purge rate for basements shall be at least 9 air changes per hour. What is the minimum clear height for the smoke layer when designing smoke management systems? Answer. The design smoke layer base shall be above the heads of people escaping beneath it. The minimum height shall be 1830 millimeters. What situation smoke removal system for firefighting operation need to be provided? Answer. Smoke removal system for firefighting operation shall be provided where there are no natural ventilation openings or where there are no operable panels or windows. Question number 108. What is the percentage of opening required for natural ventilation and the distance from the internal corridor? Answer. Naturally ventilated internal corridor shall be by fixed ventilation openings in an external wall and such ventilation opening being not less than 15% of the floor area of the internal corridor. Natural ventilation opening shall not be more than 9 meters from any part of the internal corridor.